Pokemon has captured the imagination of children around the world.
Hiya.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, mate.
I just wanted to quickly read out a couple of comments for you to reply to from your first video.
Yeah, alright.
Because I was very, very upset with a couple of them.
Why?
Because a couple of them said some very nasty things about you.
That's alright, mate. We just gotta keep saying what we believe in, mate.
Well, someone said this.
Yeah.
You grasp the concept about as good as you grow hair.
Well, that's a nasty personal comment, isn't it, KJ? But it is funny, so we can laugh at it, 'cause it's obviously a joke.
Right. Someone said, what a dingbat.
Okay. Well, the frustrating thing for me about comments like that is I don't really know what you disagree with. If you just think I'm a dingbat overall, then I guess that's completely fine. But I encourage people with comments to tell me what you think is wrong so we can have a chat and maybe we can both learn something. This is just my opinion. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, you know.
Not a nice thing to say to someone anyway, Pokeron.
That's true.
Someone said this. Dud. You opened the video saying, quote, Nintendo is purposely underprinting.
Yeah?
Dude,
What's going on?
that is common knowledge. Nintendo has been underprinting since the 80s. It is a
What?
It is a common sales tactic to create FOMO amongst customers so they buy it when they see it.
Yeah.
Everything comes in waves, but guess what? Pokemon will be big again, and this current modern product will be vintage.
Correct. Yeah, no, well, it won't be vintage, it'll be old. There's a difference between vintage and old. It isn't, you know, what I mean by that is the problem here is this product may get old. In fact, it will get old. We know that. But it will never have the same significance as vintage. So all I'm saying is when you've got the option to either choose vintage or modern, while you can, take vintage. But some of the things he said there was true.
He says, you are telling me all these kids now are not going to be nostalgic for this stuff. What else do they have?
I didn't say kids weren't going to be nostalgic about it, you know. But remember, nostalgia doesn't necessarily add value. It does sometimes, but not always. But again, I didn't say they weren't going to be nostalgic about it. I just said, if you've got the choice, which at the moment you do, buy vintage because you're getting a 30-year head start, you know.
This guy said, this guy mad cause his vintage sales are down. He said, clown. That is not nice, Pokeron. He's calling you a clown.
Well, that's all right, KJ, because ultimately, what does he even mean by that? Vintage is booming, you know. All I'm saying is, he obviously is completely uneducated, but what I'm saying is, vintage is going up, you know. Vintage is moving along very, very nicely, even more nicely since I started making YouTube videos. Now, do I think I'm the sole cause of that? Of course not. But I have noticed certain things have been happening since me and you, KJ, started telling them what was going on, and to me, they're all positive signs. You know? There ain't nothing holding back vintage, KJ. Vintage Pokemon cards are some of the greatest investments of our whole generation. You know? So, and even if I was frustrated about selling vintage, I wouldn't jump on YouTube and I would never think that me by making a YouTube video is going to actually influence the entire market. You know, I just don't have that much pull. You know, I wouldn't think that me jumping on YouTube and making a video about it is really going to do much. I'm here to help people make the right decisions because they are spending money. I just think they could spend it better.
Okay.
That's all.
Someone said this video won't age well. I don't know what that means, Pokeron.
I think he's saying that over time, me and you are going to look a little bit silly.
Why?
Because some of the things we're saying aren't that he doesn't believe that the things we're saying are true. Ultimately, that they're going to hold up over the long term, and it'll be interesting because me personally, I think my videos are going to age like fine wine because you know, the things that I've already started saying have already started happening, guys. I'm just pointing out the obvious. Sorry if that annoys some people. But you know, I think it's going to age quite well, you know, personally. But we'll see. That's the great thing about speaking out, because once you've said it, we'll see the truth. You know, we'll see. I mean, maybe he's right. Who knows? I don't believe it. Me and you, KJ, we can only say what we believe, can't we?
Correct.
So that's that.
Someone said multiple comments from the same person hating on your Pokeron.
Okay. That's all right.
Which I'm not a fan of.
That's all right, mate. Everyone's got their opinions. Don't worry about it. This is what happens on the internet.
I'm calling him out.
Okay.
Ryan Tagaleezy,
Yeah.
age 740,
Yeah.
said, I'm not one to usually comment,
Oh, well, what an honor.
but this has to be the stupidest video I've ever watched.
Okay. That's saying something about YouTube. That is saying something. Yeah, okay. What next? He hasn't said much yet.
This guy said this. Oh my lord. Haven't seen so much rubbish in a single video for a long time.
Okay.
You were just frustrated because people realise vintage is well overpriced and the artworks suck compared to modern. Ha ha ha. Plus it's clear you haven't got a clue how scalpers or investors operate. Neither how the market works these days. But good attempt though. With some luck, you might convince 2 or 3 people to buy your overpriced vintage cards. Ha ha ha.
Well, I mean, let's get one thing straight. You know, I'm not even selling vintage Pokemon cards. You know, like obviously over at Welcome Stranger, our towers are full of vintage because we prefer that over modern. But I don't, as for my personal collection, I ain't selling. In fact, every vintage collector I know ain't selling. There's a couple of people out there that unfortunately I have heard horror stories where people have sold vintage cards to buy modern, and I think I wouldn't advise that. But ultimately, I ain't even, you know, like, I don't really, can you just run through that again, KJ? Well, just nice and quick, what did he say? Oh yeah, we're clowns and it's full of, we don't understand the market. It's like, mate, I've been predicting this market for 10 years now. I'm one of the most successful speculators or investors in Pokemon, vintage Pokemon, in the country. So, and it sounds like yourself have just got a bunch of modern. And I don't understand why you think you're better off keeping that. Explain that to me, please. Explain to me why you think you're better off keeping that than buying something of the same franchise, 30 years older, that's more significant and just better and rarer, all that. Explain that to me. And he said something else too. What was it?
I'm gonna need you to open your phones, because I can't open it now.
No worries. No worries.
I'll gladly keep reading through these ones.
All right, we'll do a couple more.
You wanted to hear something else he said, did you say?
He said something about...
He said, you don't have a clue about how scalpers or investors operate?
Scalpers, yeah. Well, I am a very successful investor, so that doesn't really make any sense. Next.
He said neither how the market works these days.
Okay, I know how the market works these days, and I'm trying to convince people to do the opposite because I think they're making big mistakes. So I feel like I do know how it works. I just think a lot of people have got poor information. Yep, next.
You reckon that's enough of that comment?
What does he say next?
He says, but good attempt though. With some luck, you might convince
2 or 3 people, which I'd love to do. You know, I know I'm not going to convince everyone, guys, but it sounds like this guy's just a bit of a modern lover who probably, for some reason, and the artwork, that's what I was searching for. The thing you said about the artwork. Guys, do we really think modern artworks are actually even better? I don't know. I love vintage artworks, especially when you take into account the nostalgic attachment. They're way better. I don't get it. The artworks. It's like, who cares? If you like the artwork, jump on Google, look up the card, look up the artwork, print out the artwork on a piece of paper, frame it, stick it on your wall, and go buy something vintage. Make sense?
Makes sense to me, Pokeron. I'm pretty fed up, Pokeron. Sick of these comments.
That's all right, mate. Yeah, you know why? No. Because KJ, let me tell you something. What do we say in the studio all the time? Hate is love. Hate is love. Hate is just misguided love. You know, these guys want to chat. They've dropped comments on our videos. You know, they've interacted with us. It's okay. They just have a different view, different stance, viewpoint. You know, and remember, KJ, a lot of these people have been manipulated. They have been lied to. They have been, you know, more or less, they've fallen for all the cloutsters and all the. Remember, we talk about the cloutsters and the influencers, and they've been sucked in. You know. So that's all right. And the way I see it, by dropping a comment on one of our videos, they're giving me and you, KJ, the opportunity to help them. They may not take it, like he said. Maybe only a couple of people will take it. But, you know, maybe a couple of people will, and that's why we try every week. Okay, what's next?
Thank you.
That's all right. There you go.
Thank you. What's next? We've got, bro, you had me rolling with your breaker impersonation.
Oh my God! Another banger! Thank you. I've been perfecting that one for quite a while, so smash that subscribe button.
He said, you are bleep spot on, and it's the #1 reason among many why I can't even bring myself to stomach these bleep.
Hey,
let alone deal with them.
Yeah, I reckon they're cringy as, man. But some people think Welcome Strangers cringy, so it's just about your taste. It's just about your taste. And I just think me and you, KJ, we're more like fine wine. But some people like beer, you know what I mean? Modern is beer, vintage is fine wine. Some people drink fine wine, some people drink beer, and that's all good, isn't it?
It is all good, yeah.
What's going on over there, KJ? Give the viewers a look. What's that? Is that a footy game?
Yeah.
That's the Williamstown Footy Club.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Anyway.
That looks cool. Okay, so basically, this other guy is saying that you...
Yeah.
Well, he said, I still think it's Scalpers' fault. If it was just collectors buying buying, then regular people would have products to buy. It's the printing problem too. Japan doesn't have this issue. The place where Pokemon is from is doing just fine.
Show 'em Willie Beach, KJ. Look at that. Look at that sunset.
Wow.
You like it here?
I do like it here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we can sit around and blame the scalpers, you know, but ultimately, the scalpers are just responding normally to an abnormal situation. Like I've said, I made a whole video about the scalpers. I think they're taking a bullet for you guys because you shouldn't be buying that modern crap anyway. Let them have it. Who cares? Go home, jump on eBay, do some research, buy a vintage card for your kid. Or for yourself, or whatever it is. And I know it doesn't have that gambling factor of, oh, I'm opening packs, but you get to just pick something and buy it. How cool's that? You know? And don't forget, if the companies wanted to fix the scalping problem, they could fix it like that. Just back that camera up a little bit, KJ. Yeah, that's it. You don't have to be like...
Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah. So do you get what I'm saying about the scalpers?
Yeah.
They're just, if the companies didn't want them, they'd be able to fix that quick smart. Yep, is that it?
That's that from that comment.
Yeah.
I just wanted to read out because I don't want to read out another hateful comment. I mean, well, hateful to be loving comment.
All right. Well, oh, is that a long one, is it?
Yes, but it's a compliment, Pokeron. I wanted to finish on it, so I don't finish this video with negativity.
Okay, go off.
Because I want to finish on positivity.
All right, well, give this person a shout out. Who is it?
Anthony Galaricus.
Anthony Galaricus. Okay, what did he have to say, mate?
First,
Yep.
I'm a new sub after watching this video.
Thank you very much.
Second, this has to be one of the greatest all-time classic YouTube videos on the Pokemon TCG.
Okay. I'll take.
Period.
Hey, we'll take that. We'll take that, KJ.
He said period.
Okay.
If you look past arguing the little details, this is simply brilliant information.
Okay.
At about the halfway point, he says, at about the halfway point, I start to think I was the one watching the WWE.
The wrestling, yeah? Okay.
I mean, if the Undertaker collected pocket monsters, this would be it. I started buying my son's Pokemon cards in 1999.
Oh, he's been around a while.
So I can appreciate...
This guy's probably a little bit older.
He said, so I can appreciate everything being said here.
Thank you, brother.
Been following the TCG 26 years now.
Been around a long time, like I said.
It's great to have someone with so much passion and such a great delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Reminding everyone there are two sides to the modern and vintage argument. In the end, price paid will dictate the balance between old and new.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone in this hobby should watch this video, if for no other reason than to be reminded of the fact that it is just cardboard. Supply and marketing do matter, and things don't always work out as is.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, what a great comment. So much there to sort of break down, but I mean, he obviously enjoyed the video. And that's me and you both, KJ, you know, our passion and our love for the hobby, you know, comes through. And that's sort of what we always said, wasn't it? We wanted to just make some videos to help people, say what we've got to say. We were fully aware that it might go against what other people think, but that's just part of it, isn't it, KJ?
It is part of it, yeah.
So why don't you tell the viewers that, you know, how you feel about everything?
Do I face the camera towards me?
You can do whatever you want, mate.
Okay. I think that what's going on in the market at the moment.
Well, no, you don't have to really talk about it. Just say, like, you know, just thank the people for watching our videos and stuff like that, okay?
Thank you for watching our videos.
Yeah.
Consecutively, consistently, and enjoying them and taking the information on board.
And thank you for all your comments, even the negative ones.
And thank you for all your comments.
And some of the nasty, and how do you feel about some of the nasty things they said about Pokemon?
Well, I think you can't read a book by its cover, and you've got to know someone personally before you can make a judgmental comments.
Yeah, okay. And ultimately, KJ, negative comments and positive comments, we want to encourage a discussion, don't we?
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what we're doing, isn't it?
That's what we're trying to do.
So, KJ, thanks for all the work you're doing, mate, for this YouTube video, and going and finding those comments and all that sort of stuff, and filming it today and all that, and you're going to edit it and everything, so, you know, you and Jacko, so, thank you for everything you're doing, mate, and believe it or not, we actually are helping a lot of people, KJ.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're doing it because we're doing it for a good reason, Pokeron, and we're good people.
Exactly right. And not everyone's going to agree with us, but that's okay, because it's just all about having a conversation.
Exactly.
All right. And there was no more comments, KJ?
No.
All right. Well, why don't you sign it off?
Thank you very much. We'll have another video soon. And I appreciate you all for watching. Just make sure you like, share, subscribe. And shout out to Poke Gangster. Cause real recognize real. Shout out to the Poketon. And shout out to All Day Matty J. That's it. Thank you very much. Talk soon.